To present our first award tonight, the Sarah Brady Visionary Award, to one of my favorite people, Christine Baranski.
Really an honor to be here in support of such an extraordinary organization. I've spent decades as an actress serving the words and intentions of writers. Just to name drop a few: William Shakespeare, Anton Chekhov, Tom Stoppard. And now at this happy juncture of my career, I am on a network show serving the words and intentions of Robert and Michelle King, the creators of The Good Wife. But unlike Shakespeare, Chekhov, or even Tom Stoppard, Robert and Michelle's work is seen every week by an average of 13 million viewers. Their ideas have the power not just to reflect the culture, but to lead our culture to think or view issues differently, which is why this episode showing my character's ambivalence towards guns was an example of the best of what television can do. When people see me, they so often, the first thing they say is, "Aren't you on The Good Wife?" The second thing they say is, "That show is so well written." I don't mind this at all. I don't mind that the second thing they say is, "Oh, we love you on that show." I love that they say, "That show is so well written." It's a measure of how well written the show is that is the first thing that comes to almost everybody's mind when they think to compliment me. And I don't mind this because I often think actors are given too many awards and credit for what is really the writer's contribution. In this case, it is a profound contribution that is already having an impact on how people are thinking and feeling about television, especially network television. Somebody saw me on the street, actually a rather well-known New Yorker, but I'm not going to say who, and he said, "You know, I'm beginning to think that television is doing better work than movies. I mean, I'm seeing great work on television, and your show is the best show that I can think of." So this is really really important, what has happened with The Good Wife. Robert and Michelle King are just, you know, really, I've worked with so many writers over, 30, 40 years of being an actress. They are stunningly fine and skillful writers. They are utterly generous collaborators. And above all, they are simply great and deeply thoughtful human beings. So I am so happy and honored to present them with this award. Robert and Michelle.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we feel we're kind of accepting this award under false pretenses. We're not as much anti-firearm as much as we are anti-cliche. And it just feels that so much of TV is about, and the features are about, romanticizing the use of firearms. The only interesting direction for us to go was the other direction. This was an episode, this one, that Christine did so well, about the deflating the romance of the firearm. And it was really something based on something that happened to me. It's not a big thing, but I was hired to write a movie that was about a police officer, and the use of firearms was going to be so important to it. I thought I should go and use one. And there was a group in the Writers Guild of America of writers who are gun buffs called Armed and Literate. And so they invited me to go to a firing range, the Beverly Hills firing range, there is one, to go fire a handgun. And there's no drama involved with it. There's this real feel when you hold a handgun of that you're tapping in to some myth of the man and a gun in his hand. And you just feel like you're playing out so many of the movies that you've seen and the romanticizing of the movies that you've seen. So you felt like you were heroic in some way just by holding a handgun. So what we thought we were doing with this episode, as you saw in the clip, was Christine's character feels a threat and learns to fire and becomes quite good at it. She's a liberal. She is very much gun control. and feels threatened, and she buys a handgun, she's trained with it, she uses it, and she gives it up not even because she's afraid of what she will do with it, but she's afraid of what it does to her, which is it really, she's beginning to like it. And we thought that was both dramatically interesting and probably dramatically true. So that was a reason for writing the episode. So we apologize. It wasn't really anti-firearm. In many ways, it was the attempt to go the other direction. But at any rate, in writing that and through accepting this word, it seems like the role of the media is to sort of pierce the romance of the firearm, because we've had so much of an impact in creating that myth, so much hand in creating that romance. And thank you so much. We really couldn't be more happy and honored. Thank you.